you thought Rostermania was crazy before, you ain't seen nothing yet. Yo, what's up, guys? This is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casty. I'm one of the HCS commentators, and we have another HCS weekly report where today we're going to be concluding Rostermania. Just yesterday, we made a video about all of the changes that happened affecting, I said, it's going to affect 7 of the top 10 teams in North America, and we talked about quite a bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of a recap, nothing crazy, until before we get into the nitty gritty. So Native Red, we'll talk about them today. Shopify Rebellion, don't forget they ended up dropping Carmea and bringing in Cycle. Native White parting ways with Gilkey and now running with Collect to speed up their gameplay. Hive, we're gonna talk about them today. G1, we know they lost out on Suppressed, or at least maybe there was a drop involved, but it's kind of all that we know when it comes to Suppressed. We'll talk about them soon. Complexity had like a little bit of a hosh-posh roster, but we've seen another change coming in, and we're going to talk about Sentinels as well. So now that we're caught up, first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Native Red, from what I hear, they had an option to run with Bohm and also kind of their pick of the litter when it came to the top free agents that became available. So like the Suspectors, the Suppressed, the all these teams, you know, maybe even maybe they could have stole like a Collector or a Cycle or something to get alongside Native Red. They really kind of had their pick of the litter. They've been a top 4 team for quite some time. They even made top 4 with Bohm at DreamHack Dallas, and I heard they had a lot of options. I've also heard that they're going to be running with Bohm, and this could be a permanent move. There's no secret that Druck hasn't been able to make it to the last 2 LAN events. Not sure exactly what the issues are, but something is causing an issue with him being able to make it on LAN. And we know how great of a talent Druck is. I don't have to tell you guys, but you know, they say, what do they say? Your best ability is availability, and sadly, if Druck can't make it to these events, it's going to be really tough to warrant, I would imagine, a salary and all the things that go along with it until he's able to get whatever this issue is fixed. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Druck. I want to see him back on Native Red. I think he's an irreplaceable player, and although Bohm went out again, not trying to replicate Druck's success. Like, he came out and he was his own person, his own player, and he did his damn thing, which I love. Shout out to Bohm for it. And if they are going to go with them, even if it's permanently, I'm sure they're going to be just great. But I will miss Druck, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree with me on that one. We saw Shopify Rebellion already signed up with Cycle. We saw Native White already sign up with Collect. 2 moves that I think are good. I think are ultimately really good for the team. I guess the question really becomes like, how good? With Shopify Rebellion, I think Carmea is phenomenal. I think Cycle is also a future superstar. Depending on the playstyle that they want to play, which when I think of Ryan Noob, I actually think maybe Cycle might fit the mold a little bit better. Native White, we kind of talked about yesterday with Gilkey, again, amazing player. Adds value to any team. He's that damn good. But in order to fit McWin's system and what they're trying to accomplish, Native White have to speed up and collect his speed. And we'll talk about Hive in a minute. So sorry. And then our first team we're going to talk about is probably G1 is Complexity. I'm sorry, that was going to be G1. It's Complexity. Complexity lost out. I mean, their whole roster exploded. The only player left right now is Tusk. And they were scrimming with Suppressed, Gilkey, and at one point they were scrimming with Carmea. 4 hours later, they were scrimming with a Smurf, and it looks like that Smurf account ended up being King Nick because they are signed up for roster lock. Complexity as their full team should be, I would imagine, would be making pool play with the points that they're going to be coming in with, which is a lot. I would imagine this will be a pool play team. Is complexity, but it looks more of like, you know, hey, look, this is the best available free agents. Let's just put it all together. Let's put every, you know, what do we got in the fridge to make this soup? What do we got? We got some chicken, cool. Throw that in. We got some leftover broth, cool. Throw that in. We got some onions and peppers that we didn't use, cool. Throw that in. Let's try to make the best soup possible. And I don't know if you guys remember, but before Charlotte, that's what French Toast Mafia was. And French Toast Mafia killed it. So maybe, I mean, we saw Gilkian suppress a part of that French Toast Mafia squad. Maybe we see something like that happen again where, hey, the leftovers come together and that soup or French toast is busting. I don't know. But Complexity have a very interesting roster that they're putting together. Next up is going to be Sentinels. Sentinels have decided to go a very interesting route. And by the way, I was from 2 or 3 nights ago, I'm up to 2 o'clock in the morning making calls, sending texts, trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. And I heard a lot of different things. I've heard about 3 different things before we got to this, where we have Spartan, Lethal, and then Falcated and Boo Boo Doo coming over from that G1 roster. And this is a team that could be incredible. This may be a team that could be the best out of all the roster moves if you can see the genius in it. Like if you can see Sentinels slowing the game down and playing a very well-rounded fundamental Halo. Like I think back to like the United from like early last year. Think about what they're doing, but think about also the firepower that they come with as well. Are they going to be the fastest team in the league? I'll be honest, I don't think so. But when they slow down, when they get to the defensive stances, when they get any kind of control, turning it to a 4v3 and then playing through it, Sentinels can be dangerous. If this roster works, this could be the best move. But I feel like I want to see it in action first. Every time I see Falcon and Boo Boo Doo get on a team, I always get super excited. I mean, same thing with Spartan, and I'm a believer in Lethal, so I want to jump on this and say this is a big fat dub right off the rip. However, for the first time, I'm gonna take a step back, take a deep breath, and say, let's see what their first few scrims look like. Let's see what their first tournament looks like. Let's not put like a crazy amount of pressure on this team and treat them for what they are. This is a new team with totally new pieces, and let's give them some time. But I will say, last time we saw Sparty, Falcon, and Boo Boo Doo teaming together with a veteran, ended up winning last event going before COVID. So I just said give them some time. I just said don't put any pressure on them, and then I put pressure on them. So, but no, honestly, I can't wait to see the Sentinels roster together. It's going to be exciting. Then from there we have Hive, who formerly known as Avengers, Hush, Swish, Nirvanical, and Precision, and this, when I first heard of Rostermania, I'm not going to lie to you guys. When I first heard Rostermania was starting, I thought the first team that would be picked apart would be this roster. And so I'm making calls. I'm calling this person, that person. This person says, nope, they're staying together. I said, okay. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, because they're like, these are pieces that can go on to another roster. I'm like, nope, they're staying together. I was like, okay. I call another person. No, they're staying together. I was like, okay. So now that Rostermania is kind of all done, we talked about every single team. It solidifies that this roster has been fairly consistent. They've now performed online and on land, had a damn good showing at Dallas, and even kind of left a little bit on the table for us to want more for it. This high roster is the real deal. We talked about this being 4 criminally underrated players for so long. It's really exciting to see them kind of, you know, get the recognition they deserve, because they've been damn good for a damn while now. It's just that a lot of people just didn't see it. So the question is, what happens with Hive? Because what I'm hearing, this signing with Hive was kind of a one event contract. Well, from what I'm hearing, I don't know for sure. I hear that they're interested in signing them, but at the same time, G1 just lost their entire roster. So the way I'm looking at it is, G1 either make a move and keep Sab, bring back Suspector, come out with Carmea, and then bring Monster in. Like that's, I'm trying to piece it together. Like G1 either make a team similar to Complexity, where it's like, hey, look, what are the best available pieces and do they fit? And let's see what we can do. Or maybe G1 are looking for a bit of consistency. I feel like when I think of G1, and I think of everything they want to do content-wise, family-wise, like when I look at G1, inconsistent rosters doesn't scream G1 to me. What screams G1 to me is bunch of freaking underdogs, bunch of freaking grinders, bunch of dudes that are willing to put in that work and improve and come from the mud. The ones that everybody kind of have been casting down, and every time we talk about the top 12, the top 8, the top 6, they just happen to forget us, Swish, Neuronical, and Precision. I'm just saying, that screams G1 to me. I don't know for sure, but I'm looking at all the moves. All the moves are pretty much done except for one. You have one more free agent team that you can grab a hold of. Maybe they go out and grab, like, you know, a Mantra or something. But to me, it's like, you already seen what Hive can do. Maybe G1 go after them. I don't know. But either way, Rostermania is pretty much done. And for the next few events, we're probably not going to see a major Rostermania. We're going to see these teams be tested where they're at, and some teams are going to improve. We're going to see some winners. We're going to see some losers. Like Shopify Rebellion are the biggest one, where I'm like, you got top 6. Like, you might become a victim of your own success. Like I'm thinking, like, I love Cycle. I love the way Cycle fits for that roster, but it's like, you bring in Cycle, are you expecting them to improve? Are you expecting them to get top 4? Or expecting them to win the tournament? Like I feel like top 6 is already so good. Native White, again, we talked about them before. They made a high risk, high reward kind of play. Sentinels, from top 12, it's only up from here, I would imagine. So watch out for Sentinels. This roster made is going to be really fun to watch. And keep in mind, Arlington is right around the corner. We're going to see these teams tested in what is the map here? In less than 3 weeks, we are going to see these teams tested. And I can't wait for it. Guys, if you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This was the conclusion of Rostermania, at least for the top 10. I will let you know that lots of times this creates some kind of trickle down. So what will Proton Gaming look like? What will Status Quo look like? What will Mantra? What will the top teams that will most likely be competing in open bracket look like once we get to Arlington? It's a good question. We're gonna get some answers soon. All right, guys, peace out.